have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to be, who you're going to be, who you're going to be.
I haven't actually spoken to the camera this morning. I have just done cardio, but I am just off to my parents' house to go and collect something, and then I will have a proper sit down and catch up with you when I am back at the flat. But I just wanted to say good morning. We are 8.5 weeks out and I have a hell of a lot to update you on, so I will catch up with you in a bit. It's been a while. I was having a look. I think it's been about a month since I filmed last, or I uploaded last. Hang on, let me have a look. It has been a month. I last filmed when I was 16 weeks out. 8.5, 9 weeks out, which is insane to me. There have been a lot of changes quite rapidly, which I will also show you. But yeah, it's been crazy, to be honest with you, in terms of life stuff going on. If you saw my Instagram, we had a death in the family that was very sudden, and life just got in the way, and some days my focus was quite literally on just getting through the stuff that I needed to get through in terms of training, food, steps, everything like that, as well as work. And then it kind of just left me with no energy to film and prioritize YouTube. I want to get back on the bandwagon with it because I love doing this, and Chris and I have kind of come up with a nice way where it takes the pressure off me a little bit. So Chris is also going to start filming for vlogs and some content for this channel. So obviously Chris coaches me for my prep. He's been coaching me before I've started prep, and I thought it would be a really nice idea to kind of have his input and his insight into it all as well. Yesterday it was, did a bit of a vlog takeover, so he kind of showed you a few things that he was doing throughout the day. I believe he's had a chat about my prep and how my prep's gone so far and how coaching has been so far. Then we also trained together, so I'm going to put those clips in now.
Okay, so good morning everyone. I am taking over the vlog today, as I don't really know why, I just am. I've got a lot of free time at the moment, so I am in charge of the videoing capabilities. So yes, I am not Marcy. I am aware that I am not as attractive or as fun to look at, so I do apologise, but we'll try and make it as fun as possible. So, I am heading off to my mum shortly as I'm dog sitting, a little live wire cockapoo called Tilly, so that's going to be good fun. So I'll be chilling out there until 1:30, I think it is, or something like that. Need to go to Aldi before to see if I can get my hands on some protein puddings and also a few bits I need for today. And after that, I will be chilling out, playing some Pokemon, living the dream, and then hopefully we'll be training together. So we've got legs today, and just going from there really. At some point today I'll also talk about how prep has been going in terms of my coaching and for Marcy herself. So it should be a little bit different, but hopefully it's good. So I'm just getting myself sorted and then I'll be heading off, and I will see if the mother load of protein puddings is available at Aldi. So wish me luck. Hey. Yeah. So the trip to Aldi was a success. I managed to get 6 protein puddings because I never see them other times. Obviously I've gone there quite early, so all the stock was out, so it was lovely. And got everything else we needed as well. And I am now at my mum's looking after Tilly, as you have now seen. So that is what is going on. I'm going to chill out, I'm going to play some Pokemon, because why not? And go from there. So yeah, just thought I'd give you an update. Cool. Okay, so I am going to sit here for a little bit and just talk about Marcy's prep, okay? So I've just been on a walk, so bear with if I'm a little bit off-season life. But, so, Marcy's prep, what can we say about it? It's been eye-opening, I think, is the best way to describe it, for me as a coach. We managed to get her food high, but we never managed to consolidate the food. It was a trickier start, so when we dropped and the weight went up, it was a bit like, oh, what have we done here? In reality, we had got it into the right place, and because Marcy has never done anything like this before, we were actually recomping relatively well. We had progress photos every week straight in from the start, and you could see the changes each week. Whether the weight was going down or not, we were losing body fat. And we still had enough food to allow that to happen. At the very start, we skyrocketed up to 70 kilos, as I'm sure she said before, from like 68 where we started. And we're now down to about 63 and a half, so I imagine probably once everything, like, if the day was like perfect, it would probably be like 63, 62.8, something like that we're probably sat at. Which means in the next sort of 8.5 weeks that we've got now, we'd like to see at least maybe 5 more kilos come off that, I think. That's where like my head's thinking at it, whether that means we have to make any more changes or not. But it's been really, really interesting because I thought that she would just want to do her own food the whole time. We then reverted to a meal plan, and that's made things better. We're now at this point now where even having a meal plan, we're still digging, so it just means no matter what, it is hard. For example, on a non-training day, we have literally carbs from oats in the morning, and that's it. The rest is like trace from like vegetables or like sauces, things like that. Training days, we're now sub 100 grams of carbs, which is pretty insane and pretty tough, along with the 60 minutes of cardio and things like that. I look at obviously the next change being potentially if there's any more food that we can come off, but I'd rather not touch that. So it would potentially be things like steps or just cardio, so expenditure really. And it's just deciding that between us, which has probably been the easiest part about this prep for both her and I, is the fact that we can sit here and go, okay, how are we feeling? Do we think we're ready for a drop? Do we think we're ready for this? Things like that, and we can really talk about it. And sort of instead of it being like, okay, here you go, bang, change, done, and that's it, we can sort of sit there and go, okay, if we were to change anything, do we think steps is too soon? Do you think you could increase your steps? There was a few weeks ago where it was pretty much impossible. She was in the office like the whole week, and it was like a struggle to hit 10k, let alone any more than that. So now it's just trying to play with that. So potentially on things like weeks off, we increase them and things like that. So yeah, that's probably been the nicest part. But yeah, the eye-opening part has been, for me as a coach, setting up meal plans. I've never done that before, and then making these changes, but also being able to analyze progress photos to actually execute the right changes and not just making changes for no reason. So it's been pretty solid. 8.5 weeks left. We will expect to see some changes this weekend, I think, just to try and ramp it up a bit more. Ideally, we would like to maybe be ready 2 weeks prior. Technically gives us 6.5 weeks. But if we're ready the week before, whatever, we take it, but we just need to get the fat off.
then back to the present day. So I hope you enjoyed that. I thought I would actually go through some questions. So I asked for some questions on my Instagram about prep, anything that anyone kind of wanted to know, and I had a really lovely response actually. Hang on, I've screenshotted them all, I need to find them. First question that I got is, what is your favourite part of prep? My favourite part of prep, I think, has been proving to myself that I can do it, and I do have that self-motivation and discipline to do it and to stick with it. So many days throughout prep where you're so tired and hungry, and the last thing you want to do is go out and get your steps or go and do cardio. And every time that I kind of push past that feeling and do it, I feel so accomplished, and I love that. And I've also really enjoyed kind of seeing my body change and seeing the muscle that I grew in my off season, albeit it wasn't a long off season and I don't have huge amounts of muscle, but I'm really proud of what I do have and what I have grown. And the next question, how do you conquer the boredom of long ass steady state cardio? So I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate cardio. I actually quite enjoy it. At the moment I do 60 minutes of cardio every morning. So I get up and head straight to the gym for opening at 6, do an hour of cardio, and then I come back and get myself ready for my day of work. To stay entertained, I literally binge watch YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, find a good film, find a good series, and then I kind of only watch that series when I'm doing cardio because it's something to look forward to. Lately I have started reading my book. That is the best way that I've been able to conquer cardio. Is a longer prep harder than a shorter one? I don't know is the honest answer. I have been, well, by the end of prep I will have done a 30-week prep. The first 10 weeks were really challenging in terms of my body just wasn't responding to anything. I think a shorter prep you have to be harsher very quickly, so it can be quite a shock to the system, whereas because I've done it over time, it has allowed me that chance to gradually increase cardio, decrease food. But I don't know, I've never done a short prep. Obviously this is the only prep I've ever done, and I've only ever done kind of this long prep, but that is my personal preference. If I was to do it again, maybe I wouldn't do it as long, but I probably wouldn't do like your standard 12-week prep because I think there's just not enough time. Because everyone always says that you think that you need to get lean to a certain point, but you always need to be leaner than that. And I think having more time, it simply allows you more time. So I don't know, I think they both have their pros, they both have their cons, but I would probably say I'd prefer to do a longer prep. But I think they both, yeah, I think they're both difficult in their own way, and more beneficial in their own way as well. The hardest thing about prep. I don't know if there's something that is just like in particular hard. It's kind of an accumulation of lots of different things that then make prep challenging. In terms of training, I have found days where I can't lift the same weight, or I'm not hitting the same numbers. Like mentally that's really disheartening, because obviously when you go into the session you want to hit the numbers that you've been hitting or progress with them, and you hit a certain point in prep when your numbers just are going to start to regress. And it's been really hard kind of detaching myself away from the logbook numbers, but it's definitely something that I have got better with over time. I would also say the fatigue is probably really difficult. The fatigue mixed with the hunger is really challenging. I'm lucky that I would say I actually haven't had it too awful so far. I know there's still 8.5 weeks to go, and I know we're going to be digging, but I would say that, you know, I think it's hard when you're tired and you've still got stuff to do and you still need to show up in your everyday life. You know, when I'm really tired or really, really hungry and I need to still show up 100% at work in my job, I find that quite challenging sometimes. And I find that I'll get to the end of the day and I will literally have nothing left in me, but I still need to go and train. I'm really sorry if the camera angle keeps changing. The sun keeps going in and out and I'm relying on the sun, basically. Has prep changed your relationship with food / exercise? I don't know is the answer. I think I probably won't know that until post-show, although we've got a really good post-show plan in place and I trust Chris completely with post-show. Food is fuel right now. So I actually think it's had a positive impact on my relationship with food because I've been so aware that it can be so negative. But I also think that until I kind of come out of show, and I think post-show is where any issues will arise if it's not done carefully. But yeah, fingers crossed it won't have. In terms of training, there are days more often than not where I just don't want to train. I don't have the motivation for it. I've been on the same training plan since February and it's very monotonous. At the moment, to me now, it is very boring, but it works. Repeating the same exercises, progressively overloading them, works. And we've only changed our exercises if we've needed to, so if I've had injury or anything like that. Otherwise, there's no need to change it. Why would you change it? But that can get really boring. Had a lot of this question. What colour is your bikini? Are you going to show us your bikini? Have you sent off for your bikini? So let's talk bikini. So I am getting my bikini made by, let me check, Time to Shine Bikinis. I haven't sent off my colour yet. I know what colour I think I want, but I need to have a Zoom call to kind of finalise that and go through it all. I'm not going to say the colour that I'm going for, and I'm not going to show my bikini, I don't think. I might get to the process of doing it and decide that I do want to show it early, or I also might keep it for show day and do a reveal, just because it's exciting, and traditionally that is what you do. Girls nowadays more girls are showing what their bikini is and the colour of them, but I really enjoy that anticipation and lead up, and then seeing it, the competitors, seeing them do their bikini reveals, and yeah, I just love that. So I'm gonna keep it a secret for now, but I haven't fully decided if I'm gonna keep it a secret or if I will share. But for now, I'm not gonna say, but I think I'm pretty set on the colour that I want to go for. I just need to have that kind of final Zoom call and send off the colours. I think I'm going to leave the video here. I've got a few more videos I want to film and that I have planned to film as well, so they will also be up on the channel. Thank you so much for your support, of your lovely, encouraging, kind words all the time. It just fills me with so much warmth, and it's amazing to me that people want to watch this journey. I look back on me 5-6 years ago when I was watching other girls compete and being inspired, so I hope you can take something away from this, even if bodybuilding isn't necessarily your thing or competing isn't something that you want to ever do. I hope you can take away from this is to keep going for your goal, and trust yourself, because you're far more capable than you probably give yourself credit for, and that's been the massive learning curve. So yes, I'm going to stop rambling because I need to go make a coffee and something to eat, and I will catch up with you in another video. Bye!